Sasaki and Peeps episode 6, and I'm starting to realize something about this anime that I surprisingly didn't realize before. I don't know if you all thought the same before, but that is that this anime is actually a very unique Isekai anime, because normally in an Isekai anime you see a lot of action, a lot of tense moments, a lot of drama. For example, when you think about very famous Isekai animes, normally you have something very wild happening, a very tense moment in the anime that shifts the anime in a certain direction, or that maybe something happens to the main character that makes the anime very interesting. But this anime is a little bit different, because although it is an Isekai anime, at the same time it seems like it isn't, which is very interesting in a good way, because it is very unique in the sense that the things that happen in the anime, for example in this episode and in the previous episodes, you can almost say that are happening in the real world and that don't have that much consequence in the other world. But when you actually think about it, they do, because for example Sasaki wouldn't have his powers if he wasn't isekai to the other world, or not so much isekai to the other world, but I guess you can say the opposite, if the bird Peeps wasn't isekai to the real world. So even though it may seem like there is no connection from one world to the other, there is actually the connection there. And I suppose that in the upcoming episodes, maybe at the end, the connection between the isekai world and the real world will start to get a little bit stronger, because although there is a connection, I have to say that as of now the connection is not very strong. And even if you don't have a connection, even if you were to focus only on a certain world, be it the real world or the isekai world, it is not so much that as of right now the isekai world is prevalent over the real world, because as of right now it is actually the opposite. It is the real world that is the more prevalent one. So to call this an isekai anime at this point in time is a little bit weird. It's a little bit interesting, because although it is an isekai anime, at the same time you can say that it is not. It has elements of isekai anime, it has elements of being in another world, but not really. And again, this episode is the episode that made me think that made me realize that this anime is very unique in that aspect, that no other isekai anime is like this one, which is surprising in a good way, like I said before, because normally you would expect an isekai anime to go to a certain direction, be very linear, which again, it is not a bad thing for other isekai animes to do that. But when you have an anime like this that breaks the norm, that does another thing completely different, well, it surprises you a little bit. It's a good thing to see in a new anime. So I'm definitely enjoying the anime and this episode a lot, because it brings something new, it brings something fresh to the whole concept of being an isekai anime. So I really like that. And this episode, like the other ones, like the past one, was another chill episode. And like I was explaining before, talking about the other isekai animes, this is another unique thing about this anime, that the episodes or the things that happen inside the episode again are very different to other similar animes, because normally in other animes, in the episode, the information, the plot, whatever you want to call it, is very filled with a lot of action, with a lot of things happening. But this anime is more chill. This anime is more about you relaxing, having a fun time, maybe analyzing the things that will happen in the next episode, and that is it. This is an anime that is more inclined towards you having a fun time, taking a backseat, relaxing, and just watching it, and that is it. Which, I enjoyed that aspect, I would say so myself. And I mean, this episode was that, and also the previous episodes were like that, because if you really think about it, the previous episodes have also been, not exactly, you can say, filled with a lot of action. And I know that may sound weird to a lot of you, because there have been definitely a lot of fights, because for example in the previous episode there was a fight between Sasaki and Magical Pink, the magical girl. So there definitely have been fights, but at the same time it is very weird, because it doesn't feel like there's something big going on. So this episode was another one of those, although in this episode there wasn't actually a fight. I mean, in this episode we see that it was all focused around Shizuka Futari. I actually wasn't expecting her to join the organization, the bureau, the job where Sasaki works. I thought that maybe she was going to become somewhat of an ally, but not necessarily join where Sasaki works. So I mean, in that aspect it was actually really surprising, because she doesn't seem to be a bad girl per se. She said that she was in trouble with her previous organization, so maybe they realized that she was not the one for the organization, and maybe she decided to change places. I thought that she was really well suited for her previous job, to her not being necessarily in a place like where Sasaki works, where it is really tight, where it is really organized. I didn't think she was that type of person, but apparently she is. And yeah, we can see that she gets really close to Sasaki. She even asks Sasaki permission to sleep in his house. Of course, Sasaki declines because he doesn't want to do anything with it. But yeah, that was the episode from beginning to end. It was focused around Futari Shizuka. And I think that is really nice because it gives character development to other characters besides Sasaki and Hochisaki. Although it also had character development for people like Akutsu. I think that is the name of the person that is in charge of the whole company organization that Sasaki works with. But also Hochisaki, Peeps, and of course Sasaki himself also had character development in this episode. So yeah, it was an episode where the main temporary character Futari Shizuka had a lot of character development, but you also had elements of other characters doing the same or also happening to them. So yeah, it was a pretty nice, enjoyable episode. I think we can all agree on that. One of those episodes where you expect them to do something that is upcoming for the next episode. In this episode, although it didn't actually feel like it did that, it didn't actually feel like, you know, it did something for the upcoming episode. It actually did when you think about it, because just the fact that Shizuka Futari is joining the company makes everything that will come a lot different, because now she knows about Peeps, now she knows about Sasaki's powers and, you know, things like that. So yeah, the dynamic for the upcoming episodes is going to be a lot different than it was before, because not even Hochisaki herself knows about Sasaki's true, I guess you can say, intentions, powers, personality. I don't even know how to call it, but yeah, that fact alone will make the upcoming episodes a lot different. So even though it doesn't feel like it did a lot to set up the upcoming episodes, when you actually think it twice, it actually did. So I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, that was basically everything that happened in the episode. Again, a pretty enjoyable, nice, chill episode. And yeah, if you don't want to miss the next episode review, please subscribe to the channel. And also, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, that will be everything by me. And I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.